morning, guys. Today is Monday, and after everything that has happened to me today, you can tell it is a Monday. So this video is going to be just a bit of a rant explaining the heartache I have had today, the pain I have felt today. I've had 2 hours of arguments, and I've been close to tears, to be honest. I have literally, the frustration level of what I'm about to tell you is just on a different level. So I don't even know where to start. Oh, I'm still fuming. It's about 2 hours later and I'm still fuming. So as many of you know, I quit basically my carpentry company December last year. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go do my HGV. No, November. So November I started the process. With the driver shortage and the pay and the security and everything, I thought I'm gonna go into HGV. Found a company called Next Gen up in Ipswich, which is about a 2 hour drive from mine, which do everything from the medical to the practical to the theory, all under one roof. Perfect. Yep, book that. It was about I think it was about £2,000 roughly to do my class 2. However, I was told that you need to get your provisional entitlement onto your license, which if I got my class 1, which is C plus E, I would still be able to do my class 2, and if in future I wanted to do my class 1 test, I would have the entitlement ready and wouldn't have to redo. So sent off to the DVLA, new license, sent it off. Yep, came back. The form I hadn't signed one section, so they've sent the form back, and I filled it back in, sent it back out. By this point I was on holiday. I went away for 2 weeks, had a nice little break, came back, thought I'll come back to my driving licence with the provisional entitlement added, and I can start booking my theory. Driving licence came back when I got back from holiday, nice new licence, with a letter informing me that the C and the CE entitlements were added provisionally. So went ahead, booked my theory, spoke to Next Gen, got all my theory booked. Yep, right, 6 weeks. Waited 6 weeks, went done my theory, passed first time. Hazard perception, my module 2 CPC, and my hazard actual theory, practical, whatever it's called. 99%, 49% and 87%. Passed them all, flying colours, worked my arse off. Yep, backing great. Passed that, came home, rang Next Gen. They were great. Answered the phone straight away, got me a test booked that day. Test was booked for today, which is the 4th of April. So I had my test booked. Yep, went up there, had to do 2 days practical training with an instructor. Went up there Thursday, found out on Thursday I had a test at the end of Thursday, which was for the manoeuvres, reversing around the cones. Yep, right, spent the day practicing that, went out on the roads, went out, done a bit of motorway driving. Lovely, I really enjoyed it. So I was sitting there, yeah, passed that. End of the day, reverse manoeuvres with the tester, passed it, great, feeling confident. Thursday came to Friday. Friday I spent 9.5 hours constant driving with one 1 hour break. The whole day driving motorways up and down the A14, all around Ipswich, all town centres. Great, fantastic, loved it. Sitting there driving, feeling all confident. Instructor very happy with my driving. He thought, yeah, you done well, all ready for your test on Monday. Found out midday Friday, I found out the test I hadn't been booked in for my module 4 CPC, which is your walk around safety checks, like how you check the lorry for air leaks, how you check the braking, how you check for illegal immigrants hiding in your van, in your lorry, sorry. Yeah, all that. So I went home, practiced, I think it was about 20 questions. It was about a half-hour test, first thing Monday morning. All weekend I was sitting there, the wife was just sit there and had to listen and do my module 4 practice videos on YouTube with me. Didn't mind. Yeah, done that. Bit of a sleepless night last night. It's about 1 o'clock I got to sleep. Bear in mind I had to leave at 5:30 in the morning to drive up to Ipswich to be there for 7:30. So, sleepless night last night. Bit agitated this morning off. I think I left about 5:45. Got up to Ipswich about 7:10. Yeah, nice and early. Sat there, watched another video, reminded myself of everything I learned over the weekend. Great. Left, went to the test centre. Instructor come out, met him, lovely bloke, and done my CPC. Took about 35 minutes. Done my 5 multiple choice questions, which you have to fill out. They have a tick box which you have to answer. So for each question you have like 4 or 5 answers that you have to give for them to pass you. So end of that, 100%, got all the tick boxes, gave them all the details that they needed. Fantastic. Sitting there, finished the test, got my test certificate, got it next to me, all nice. Yeah, big pink certificate. Got my photo taken in front of the lorry. Great. Yeah. Now all I had to do was have a couple of hours before my actual practical test. However, the instructor went through my paperwork, which I was informed to get printed out, as if I send out it will show all my provisional entitlements that have been added to my licence. Gave it to him, I didn't even check it, my fault, I didn't check this, as I'd had the letter received back from the DVLA saying they've added it, well, nothing's wrong. So he came back, I was sitting in the lorry at this point waiting for him to do all my licence checks, etc. He came back and called me into the office. Do you want the bad news? So I prefer good news, but yeah, if there's only bad news, give me the bad news. What's the bad news? I'm going to have my test postponed, or I'm going to have to bring the test forward, or am I going to have to extend it later? What's the bad news? So he checked all my paperwork. Bear in mind, I've got the letter confirming that the DVLA had received my medical and my D2 and D4 forms to add my C&E provisional entitlement to my driving licence. Yeah, gave him all that. Online, my driver's licence check, no sign of a provisional entitlement to drive a lorry. So I had a C1 on there. C1 paramedics sort of thing. Never applied for it. I've never really applied for a licence, so they shouldn't have that anyway. So I thought, oh, maybe I ticked the wrong box. My fault. He was like, right, so you can't do your test today. I was like, but I've got the letter confirming that it's been added. He went, yes, but if you go onto the Gov website, view your actual driver's licence and your provisions, it's not on there, you've only got C1. So had a proper argument. Me and my driving instructor were fuming. He'd never heard of it, the instructors at the test centre had never heard of it. No idea what's happened. Bear in mind, so I rang up the office where I'm doing my test from at NextGen, spoke to the lovely lady Claire, who helped me the whole way through. She was on the phone to me when I filled out the form. So I know, and she knows, that she told me to cross all the boxes, right? So cross all the boxes, so I have provision entitlement for all type aspects of vehicles. Yep, and that's what I sent off. So I know, and she knows, that I've done that. And when I received my driving licence back, I actually called her with the confirmation letter and confirmed for her to go ahead and book my theory and practical, no, my theory, so that I could get that passed and book my practical. So this is all done. I don't understand why it's not added. We just came to the conclusion that either they didn't add it, or they'd added the wrong thing, or I'd crossed the wrong box. Something along the line had gone wrong. However, there'd been no checks since November of when I received my licence back till April the 4th today to ask whether I had proof of the entitlement added to my licence. So after 2 hours there ringing back and forth, we got the instructor to ring head office DVLA, and they're still sitting there going only the C1 was added. Now for me, I know that I don't need the C1. I never wanted the C1. Why has it been added? So I thought, let me go check. I'm back in the lorry, I'm in the passenger seat now with my instructor, driving back to the actual yard where we started the practice. And as we got there, I thought, let me go online, let me check my licence. So I've gone on there, and on your provision side, dates, it shows when that provision was added. So I checked the C1, which was added in 2018, not November 2021. So when I applied for my provisional to be added, it actually hasn't added anything. It hasn't even said I've crossed the wrong box or they've added the wrong entitlement to my license. They had done nothing, like literally nothing. So I've paid for this medical and sent off my forms without a driving license for it ended up being 4 weeks in total, and they had done nothing. They haven't even added any entitlement, not the wrong one, or not the C, or not just the C and E, or not just the C1. They've added nothing. They've literally added nothing, but I've still got my new license back. So they've just changed my license and given me a new license. So now what I have to do is refill out the form, right? I have to refill out the form and the D2 and D4 forms, send them all off with my license, get another provisional entitlement added before I then rebook another test, which the test I booked was in January, and the soonest I could get was today, April the 4th. So January, February, March, April. 4 months I've had to wait for this test since I booked it. 4 months. So it's not my fault. I've sent it off. They've got record of it. They've got record of my medical form from November the 27th of November, and they've got the entitlement, the medical form, which has been added. So why is there no provisional? So now I have to go home, go through all my paperwork, make sure there was, because I know that when I got sent my license there was no details as to what had been done or what they'd said, other than the automatic response email which you get asked to do before your test. So now I've got to do that. I've got to email the complaints, because I've lost money. I've lost 5 days of work. I have lost 5 days of money off work. I have spent 4 hours a day for the last 3 days going up and down to Ipswich. Bear in mind the reversing certificate and the CPC certificate are valid for 2 years, so I do only have to do my practical. But I have now got to do this, and then if I get a test booked and it's another 4 months after I receive the 2 weeks of entitlement, maybe 3, I think it's up to 6 weeks. So say it's the worst, say it's roughly a month. That is now 5 months I've got to wait to get my provisional, to get my theory, my practical booked, which means then I'm going to have to do another 2 days of driving under instruction to re-familiarise myself with the vehicle. So I've lost 5 days of money because I had the weekend off work to make sure I could practice for my CPC on Monday and get my head, and I'm not overworked with work and so on. So I'm extremely frustrated, but I'm gonna go home. Well, I'm home now, as you can see. I'm home now and go through all my paperwork. I have folders and folders of driving certificates and all the way back to 2008, everything that's been involved with driving. So when I got my driving license back, I can only assume that's where I would put the letter that came with my driving license. But we shall see. That's my rant. But I am absolutely livid. And I don't know who to blame. I need to get answers from the DVLA. Once I get answers from DVLA, I've got to go through all my paperwork, make sure everything I believe I've done correct, refill out the forms, resend them off, wait for that to come back, reapply for my practical test. But is it a sign? Is it a sign that I just shouldn't do it? Is it a sign that it's not meant to be? Is it a sign that I should go back to carpentry? Because I ended up going to work for Amazon as a delivery driver, so I could get used to driving in preparation for passing my test, which clearly is not going to happen now for a few months. So, do I get rid of the van for delivery? Go work for a carpentry company? Earn some money, get some money behind me again? Because if I have to pay, it is going to be out my pocket, and I really cannot be affording all this. It's just really ruined my whole plan for the year, really. I had this goal that I wanted to achieve by the end of the year, being lorry driving, steady income, purchase another property. But I do have a new car, as you can see. Little teaser, which I'm going to do videos on, as I am going to fully modify this once I get back working and have money. But for now, it's just sitting there. Oh, and that reminds me, to top it all off, right? Sorry, let me just find my keys. You've got a bit of a close-up there. So that reminds me. Oh, wife's been shopping. Oh, that's right for some. Hopefully it's for me. It'll cheer me up. But, yeah. So on the way back, I went... Sorry, I'm struggling to get in my door. I went to Aldi, as I've bought this 2007 plate Audi TT. Really cheap. Saw it really cheap. It was local. I thought, why not? Treat myself. Went to Aldi. Sat in Aldi for an hour. Sitting there waiting for the parts guy to come out. I want to get a new cam follower. I want to get a new thermostat because my temperature is not reading. Which means I've got no heating, which means the fans don't turn on, and I have no coolant running around my engine. Yeah, great. Yeah. Car don't work. Lorry test, can't do. And sat there, got the guy come out. I went, yeah, told him list of stuff I wanted quotes on. Sat there, 10 minutes. Sat there, 20 minutes. Right, okay. He calls up the reception, the guy that I spoke to tell her that his computer has decided to start automatically updating. And now, I can't even get the price. They can't even tell me if they've got the parts in stock. Because if they had them in stock, I'd come home, start work on the car. Start video. Yeah. Do a little YouTube video on Audi TT. I thought, lovely. Maybe get some followers. I've only got 1 subscriber. Remember, click subscribe if you like this rant. I'm still going. Yep, still going. So yeah, now I'm back home. No parts for my car. No practical test. No lorry licence. No money. I'm out.